world has seen many gifted footballers over the years. Names like Pele, Maradona and Messi come to mind, but there is one name that stands out above the rest: Neymar Jr. Neymar is the most naturally gifted footballer of his generation. He's quick, possesses incredible skills and is quite an enigma in the football world. At the same time, he's by far the most polarizing. But is Neymar a failure, or have his questionable choices made him look like one? From the get-go, Neymar's feet seem to have an unspoken understanding of the ball. Santos FC became his playground, and he certainly knows how to play. It's like he has a secret pact with the goalposts, making them his partners in the art of scoring. His dribbling skills appear to challenge the laws of physics, and he effortlessly scores from invincible angles. Yeah, that's Neymar for you. With every quick move, Neymar summons cheers that shake the entire stadium. Even the experts who've seen it all are left amazed by his boldness on the field. He's not only winning games, he's creating beautiful soccer moments that people from all over the world connect with. To his credit, Neymar has stacked up some trophies, but besides a couple of domestic titles in the Spanish La Liga and the French League One, he has just one UEFA Champions League trophy to his name. Shockingly, he has never won the FIFA World Cup, and he's never won a Ballon d'Or. So why is this disappointing? Well, Neymar's from Brazil, which is the biggest nation in the world as far as international football is concerned. His countrymen expected him to be the man to do what Pele, Ronaldo and Romario had done for their country in the past, which is to bring the World Cup back home. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to inspire his country to victory at the World Cup, and that only made his critics raise their eyebrows even higher. Rightfully so, since they say, to whom much is given, much is expected, and Neymar was given the biggest platform of them all. In 2013, Barcelona, who at the time were the hottest team in the world, were gunning for his signature. The Catalan club finally got it, and they expected him to be the guy that would get the job done after Messi was old and grey. Luckily for him, Messi was still at the top of his game. He also had an in-form Luis Suarez in the squad, so there was no way Neymar wasn't going to shine, right? Wrong. The MSN, as they were fondly called, did shine, but it was still Messi who was making things happen for the team. This is not to say that Neymar didn't put in his fair share of the work. He did, but it was not up to par with what a superstar player should be doing in a team as formidable and as talented as Barcelona. Everyone thought that with Messi and Suarez by his side, he would shine brighter than a supernova and snatch up the Ballon d'Or at least once. Neymar had no reason to fail, as he had everything going for him. He was playing alongside the best players in the world, he was well paid, and he had finally achieved the superstar status he never enjoyed while playing for Santos in Brazil. Fast forward to 2017, and after a string of not so impressive performances, ego issues, parties and media spats, Neymar decided to leave Barcelona in a move that shocked the world and made soccer fans question his ambitions as a footballer. PSG were the ones who secured a signature, and it was in exchange for a whopping 222 million euros. So why did Neymar decide to leave Barcelona in the first place? Did he feel he was being outshone by Messi? Was he tired of the constant criticism he was facing by the Spanish press? Or did he just want more money, regardless of whether he won major trophies or not? That's really up to him to say, but whatever his reasons, his mind was already made up to leave. It's not like PSG's a terrible team. Sure, they aren't on the same level as Barcelona, but at the time, they were a strong unit who were chasing European glory. PSG didn't have a player on Neymar's level either, so there was no way he wasn't going to be the star of the show in Paris. At least that's what everyone thought. So, going by the club's European ambition, big money they offered the Brazilian, and his talents as a footballer, the world expected Neymar to at least lead the Paris side to a UEFA Champions League title. Unfortunately, he did not. And while his gameplay was pretty much packed with the same mesmerizing dribbles and quickness, he was also plagued with more injuries than he cared for. He still had an attitude problem, but his core fans would blame his fitness issues for his lack of explosiveness in Paris, and not his attitude as a player. Whatever the case, he didn't fulfill the purpose for which PSG spent all that money acquiring his services. They didn't win the Champions League, even though they came close on a few occasions. When it was time for Neymar to step up and show he was a big game player, he always fell short of expectations and left PSG fans disappointed. That being said, PSG had two major problems with Neymar. First was his questionable attitude and unprofessionalism, which he displayed on a number of occasions, while the second was his injury problems. You may not know this, but the Brazilian star missed about 740 days of football, all thanks to his recurring injuries. It's true his injury stopped him from reaching his footballing peak, but what about the times he was accused of intentionally going incognito at certain times of the year? Neymar had a habit of conveniently picking up injuries or suspensions around early March each year. So why is this suspicious? Well, his sister's birthday falls around this time. This certainly cannot be a coincidence, and this irritated the PSG loyalists, who thought Neymar didn't take the club seriously. In fact, there was a particular incident in 2019 where the Brazilian appeared to have struck a supporter who criticised him for his lacklustre showing in PSG's club final defeat to Rennes. Not too long before that, Neymar was suspended for lashing out at UEFA officials after his team conceded a late penalty to Manchester United in the Champions League. But it didn't stop there, as he had the Brazil captaincy taken away from him months later for a string of disciplinary issues. Neymar was also notorious for having verbal and sometimes physical altercations with his teammates, both at club and country level. There was one particular incident where he had to be separated from Julian Draxler during one of his infamous riffs. There was also the time he went at it with Kylian Mbappe after he took a penalty away from the French striker in PSG's game against Montpellier in 2022. Simply put, somehow, it seemed Neymar enjoyed the spotlight, regardless of whether it was for a good or bad reason. But unfortunately, his behaviour did more harm to his career than good. And even though he won the French League 1 a total of 5 times with PSG, as well as 3 Coupe de France titles, the one trophy he was brought in to help them win eluded the club. For this reason, as well as his failure to lead Brazil to World Cup glory, Neymar is widely regarded as a waste of natural footballing talent. This seems like a very harsh conclusion when you consider the fact that Mbappe and Lionel Messi too were also signed by PSG to help them lift the biggest trophy in club football. However, the difference between Mbappe and Messi in this context is that both players have led their respective countries to World Cup glory, just as it was expected of them. Neymar, with all his skill and hype, failed to do that, and going by his age, it seems he might never achieve this feat. For now, it seems the Brazilian has grown tired of European football, and he has proven this by making a shock summer move to Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal for £77.6 million. So, Neymar's journey at PSG is officially over. There's no Champions League trophy to show for all the money they spent on him either, and that begs the question once again, was Neymar a waste at PSG or not? Many would agree that he was, as the club didn't sign him to win a bunch of domestic trophies which they were already winning without him. On a personal level, his hopes of winning the Ballon d'Or have certainly been crushed by moving to Al Hilal. Even if he scored 100 goals in his first season there, it would still be waved off as a mediocre achievement, since the quality of football in Saudi Arabia is nowhere near the level of the game in Europe. With the biggest individual award in football now looking like a long shot, the most he can do with what's left of his career is to help Brazil qualify for the next FIFA World Cup and win it this time. But that too will be no easy feat. He'd be 4 years older by then and possibly out of favour with Brazil's national team. We'll just have to wait and see what Neymar will do next with a career that could have been one of the greatest in football history. But do you think Neymar is one of the biggest waste of talents in football? Hit the comments section and leave your thoughts. And if you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to smash the like, share and subscribe buttons to keep watching more interesting football content like this. See you in the next one.